Asad Siddiqui, thank you for having me here in your home in Karachi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm really good, thank you. All of a sudden, I feel like, even though you've been acting since 2009, I feel like this year there's been an added recognition for your work. You know, even though your role in Chalava was a supporting role, you were hilarious in that role. You know, and also you didn't care that people might not necessarily be able to recognize you straight away. When you come on screen with that dari, I didn't recognize you instantly in the trailer.
It was very risky for me because usually I don't opt onto those kind of characters which are very comic relief and all that kind of things. But when I was offered this movie, I think I was the last one to offer this, and the producers Shazia called me up, and she was like, "Hey, you wanna work on it, our movie?" I was like, so first I was like, no, because they offered me when they were doing Karachi se Lahore 3. Yeah, Karachi se Lahore 3, and they offered me a character which I was not comfortable with, so I kind of rejected it. Then somehow things changed. They come up with another movie. They wanted to cast somebody else. Something happened, and then they came up to me and they were like, "Hey, you want to do this kind of movie?" I was like, "Hey, like how? I mean, where am I coming from?" So they were like, "Yeah, this happened, and now we want you to play this character." So I was like, "Okay, fine, give me one day. I need to recall all these kind of things what you're saying to me, and then I have to study if I can do it or not." And then yes, alhamdulillah, I said yes to it. And the best thing was that Zara was playing against me. So what else do you want?
It was a great opportunity for you and your wife to work together, but more so than that, it was a great opportunity for you to show off your comic style as well after a number of years. It was a real chance for you to showcase that you don't have any vanity about being an actor.
See, I've always looked out for the characters. I never even care about how am I looking, because usually I don't even wear makeup when I'm doing some dramas. So yeah, I'm more focused on the character, because if you're doing a character in a proper way, things will come up themselves. You don't even have to worry about, oh, my makeup is here, मेरे कैसे बाल कैसे हैं, मेरे कपड़े कैसे हैं, because it's in the end it's all about the character and the content and the way you're playing it.
Interestingly, both you and your wife's careers this year have a sort of similar journey, because you know, you and your wife were both in Chalava together, and a few weeks later we saw her in a completely different avatar in Diwar Shab. Similarly, you, just a few weeks after Chalava, are playing this maniac in Surkh Chandni. Surkh Chandni is a drama right now on TV on ARY which deals with acid attack. It's about an acid attack survivor, and you are the perpetrator of that acid attack. Talk to me about your role, because it's a very sensitive subject. It's a subject that has ruined people's lives. How much responsibility is there on you, Asad, to make sure you do this role justice?
It's something which will always be very dear to me. This project, this whole thing, this whole cast, this whole process was so intense that I can't even express them in words. Because this topic, acid attack thing, is, you see, I'm still shivering. This is something that we need to understand. Like, I'm talking about the subcontinent. This thing happens all the time, unfortunately. And when I was doing this, especially the scene in which I had to throw the acid, I was shivering myself. I couldn't do that. I was like, no man, I can't do that. So in the end, we did it, and the character I was playing was so maniac. Somehow he used to think that he's a god. He's not even a human, and he was doing things like that. So getting into that character, it's all because of my director, the cast, the team, and the efforts that we had to put in. I think, alhamdulillah, we did a great job. People are loving it. And I really, really hope that they get some lesson out of it. And just don't watch it just for the heck of it or just for an entertainment. No. But they actually take some lesson out of it.
Toxic masculinity is a massive problem, not just in Pakistan but around the world. There is an issue with the way men feel entitled, that it is a sense of entitlement. अगर ये मेरी नहीं हो सकती तो किसी की नहीं हो सकती. इसने मुझे इनकार कर दिया तो मैं इसकी ज़िंदगी तबाह कर दूँगा. These are common ideas that men have. How impactful can a drama like Surkh Chandni be in changing those mindsets?
See, unfortunately, this thing happens, I think, all over the world. They get really affected by the rejection. Okay, how can that woman is saying no to me, and why not? Why can't she say no to you? Who are you? Everybody has the right to say no to anyone. I would personally say that one has to learn how to say no, regardless whatever it is. It doesn't matter. In any walk of life, if you can't say no, I think you need to learn how to say no, because this is very necessary.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that men, widespread, have this idea that a woman can't say no to them? Where is it stemming from? I know that you're not a sociologist, I know that you're not a psychologist, that you can analyze people's mindset, but in your opinion, as somebody who's lived their whole life in Pakistan, where do you think that sense of entitlement comes from?
I honestly, in my opinion, I think it's not the way we brought up, because every parents bring up their child in the most prosperous way.
But there is a difference in the way they bring up their children, right? Between a boy and a girl. You know, there's a difference in the way that parents, not all parents, but many parents,
yes,
have a expectation that their daughter will help in house chores, and the man doesn't have to, because he's going to grow up and become a provider. There's an expectation that ek behen apne bhai ke liye jaake roti leke aaye. These things are all part of the way a man feels entitled, aren't they? But are you seeing that change? Is that something that you've identified yourself? Do you think that has a hand to play in why men behave like this?
All these dramas that we do. Okay, first thing, I really want to tell you here that the kind of dramas that we show, it's all about, we talk about, okay, this drama is for women empowerment and this and that, but I'm sorry to say there is no women empowerment. I'm sorry to say there is no women empowerment, because in the country where you live in and the culture, it's very different from what we are trying to show, right? Because हर ड्रामे में आप देखते हैं लड़की मार खा रही है, उस पे ये हो रहा है, उस पे जुल्म हो रहा है, कभी उसकी सास तंग कर रही, कभी कुछ तंग कर रहा है. But if you want to show these kind of women empowerment causes, then there are so many other examples. हम Netflix पे हज़ार चीज़ें देख रहे होते हैं,
लेकिन वो बाहर से बन रही है, वो यहाँ पे नहीं बन रही. But there are exceptions, right? Like a Sabah Qamar is doing a cheek. You know, in Yaqeen Ka Safar Sajal is rejecting patriarchy. You know, there are small examples.
So we need to do all these kind of work. We need to do all these kind of work. Instead of showing कि हम औरतों को मार रहे हैं और ये कर रहे हैं और वो कर रहे हैं just because for the sake of rating, then I'm sorry, this is not women empowerment. आपको दिखाना है, आप दिखाएं कि एक औरत कितनी ज़्यादा कितनी स्ट्रॉन्ग है कि वो दुनिया का मुकाबला कर लेती है खड़े खड़े, और वो अपने आप पे आँच भी नहीं आने देती. आपको दिखाना है तो ऐसे करके दिखाएं, फिर बात होगी कि हाँ जी women empowerment है कि नहीं है.
How important is the roles that men play in these dramas? Because, you know, female actresses, I think, are trying to, well, female actresses, what I mean is female actors are trying to make a difference by picking roles, but there's a limited number of roles to pick from. But how important are the male roles in these dramas?
Usually what we're looking at is that most of the dramas are women oriented, the female oriented, and men are usually the antagonist for them. So why do you have to show men so antagonist all the time? Yeah, maybe 20% dramas you make in which you show women as antagonist, but no, 80% is men. Why? Why this inequality? You see? So you have to come up with the contents which are which can be relatable in general public. You see? So we really need to work on our content, what we need to show. Because हम दिखाते कुछ हैं, सोचते कुछ हैं, करते कुछ हैं. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. The proper thing is जो आप सोचें, जो आपको सही लगे और आप वो दिखाएं. ना कि for the sake of the ratings कि आवाम देखेगी.
तो ये producers डरते क्यों हैं? मैंने काफ़ी दफ़ा सुना है कि there are producers who produce a hit drama which is about women empowerment, for example, but they're scared of doing it again. They go back to making those dramas about the suppressed housewife, you know, the horrible mother-in-law, the wife beating husband. What is it about that formula that is still so successful today?
कोई भी चीज़ आप लड़की को रख के बेचेंगे वो सक्सेसफुल हो जाती है, unfortunately.
Where it looks like the girl is being suppressed.
Yeah, ये बात ये है. But alhamdulillah, now we have so many other different contents. जैसा you said, Sheikh, Surkh, Chandni. We had the Sabak Amar one. Baghi. So all these हमें इन जैसे contents चाहिए, ये हमें चाहिए.
But one Sabah Kamar can't change the entire industry, right? Obviously. She can do what she can do.
See, we are actors. We can only try. We can only try to do our best in that one particular character. See, we are offered those kind of characters. It's up to us whether we choose it or not.
What happens when you say to a producer or a writer, Asad, as an actor, you have an influence, you're a powerful man, you have an influence in how something is put together. If you question the way a man is portrayed in a drama, what kind of responses do you get from producers or writers? Are they open to taking that feedback?
They're open, but usually what they say is I'm sorry bro, we don't have people don't like to watch these kind of things.
Okay.
They say this. I've tried myself. I tried to ask few of the producers, why can't we make something like, you know, something different, what we usually watch on Netflix and Amazon Prime and all these. We love to watch it.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm a person who always watching Netflix or Amazon Prime. So if I'm loving that, and most of the people watch that and they're like, wow, what kind of series is that? So why can't we implement that kind of strategy in Pakistan? So what they say is that, यार वो लोग को पसंद नहीं है ये देखना, मज़ा नहीं, वो relate नहीं कर पाएंगे.
And then what can you do? You have to just go with it, right?
Obviously.
But what I think is great is that in your personal life, you've conducted yourself in a way which is inspiring other men. Well, I certainly hope is inspiring other men. I just interviewed your wife and she was full of praise for you. The fact that you have been so accepting with whatever it is that she wants to pursue. I don't like the idea of saying that you've given her permission, because that implies that that a man should decide what a woman can do. But there's certainly a level of comfort knowing that your husband is supportive of whatever it is you want to do. Has it been hard for you to be so supportive, knowing the judgments that are made about women who go into the field of acting?
You tell me, how can I say no to someone who, I mean, someone like my wife, and I work in the same industry, do whatever I want, do all those kind of things, and then I come home and I say to my wife, hey, you can't do what I do.
But there are men who do that though. Let's be real, there are men who do that. So what's different about the way you think compared to, there are men who are actors and who don't want their wives or their daughters to act, for example?
I honestly have no idea, because this is the way I am brought up by my parents, that everybody is equal.
Do you worry for her though? Do you worry for her in the sense that, like I said, that there is an assumption made about women who go into the field of acting, even though it's an archaic stereotype, even though it's a regressive stereotype, it is still a stereotype that exists.
But less.
Less?
Yeah. But I'm not worried about her, because she herself is a very strong woman. She knows what she's doing. She knows where she's going. Yes, I'm worried in a way कि घर कबारी है, सब खैरियत है और कुछ मसला तो नहीं हो रहा. Is she okay? Nobody is harming her. But yes, I know I have whole confidence on her that she can do whatever she wants. And I think she has proved herself all along.
You know, your wedding was a massive social media event, and you know everybody was following it
and
very
I had
closely.
no idea. That was not an intention. The intention
well, it
was
happened.
only to get married. That's it.
It happened, but it also started a trend of power couples in the Pakistani entertainment industry. You and Zara, and then along came several other couples. I'm not going to name them all, but there is a rise in this kind of relationship aspect of Pakistani entertainment. Do you see that? Do you see that happening since you and Zara got married? And how do you look at that? Because it's a very, very viable arrangement. You and your partner are then open to more brand endorsements. You have a growing fan base because people are seeing you grow together. It's almost like reality television playing out on social media. Is that something that concerns you? Is that something that you see happening? And how do you feel about it?
Obviously, I feel really happy. I mean, when you go out and people start calling your name and they're like, hey, you and Zara look beautiful together and all this, obviously it gives you lots of pleasure. But I don't see it that this all thing started because ever since me and Zara got married.
I think you got married at the right time. It was when Instagram was kind of had fully emerged and people were glued to it.
I was so bad at Instagram since all my life, and Zara came and my Instagram popped up. Like I was like, why? How?
So you see what I mean there? You got into a relationship, you were both celebrities, and your social media status rose together. That's the kind of influence power couples have. But do you think people are taking advantage of that?
See, this thing happened, I think, all over the world. People like to take advantage when they see themselves associated with somebody famous. So this thing happens, I think, not in our industry, in every kind of industry. In every industry, they see themselves associated with someone who's very famous, and then they try to be with them till they start getting something good out of them, which is bad. I personally believe that if you're with someone, don't take her as an advantage to your own self. Okay, you are with someone, be with that person, and get stronger together. Give some advantage to that person as well from yourself. So, when we got married, we had no intention to become powerful couple. We had no thoughts like that. We were so clear about our things that I have to work hard. She knows she had to work hard. That's it. So we keep on working hard. And 2019 came and things just changed.
Absolutely.
Everything.
So you feel the same
changed.
way I do. The way I said that in 2019, both your careers have seemed to have just shot up. Even I know you were acting for so many years, but I do feel like there was a added sense of recognition this year. But you both feel that way as well.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because ever since I got married to my wife, things actually changed. Even in my house, they started loving me more. Yeah. So yeah, they say things start changing from the house. Yeah.
Do you think Pakistani audiences are becoming more progressive? When you and Zara got married a couple of years ago, you didn't really publicize your relationship prior to your wedding because typically Asian communities aren't really accepting of boyfriend-girlfriend scenarios before outside of marriage. But now when we see so many celebrity couples being openly accepted by Pakistani audiences, they're going on holidays together, they're doing TikTok videos together, we see it all, and nobody's batting an eyelid.
Zara's family was conservative. My family is very old-fashioned. So that's why we were not allowed, I think Zara's family was not allowed to, let everybody knows,
but I don't think it was just Zara's family. I think it was the audiences. It's your fans.
See, you cannot expect anything from audience. You can actually always expect anything from audience. You cannot expect कि उनको अच्छा लगेगा या बुरा लगेगा, because that's their choice. They can say bad things to one of the best things you can ever think of. So you have to live your life according to your values, your culture, and with your own mind.
Are you surprised by how accepting the audiences are of these relationships that are happening?
See, I'm not surprised. I never get surprised by the audience.
Really?
I never get never get surprised because, see, I cannot leave. I need to have my say, and I like to do things my way. And I do not let anybody involve into my zone and tell me this is the way you should do, except my family. So, and even when I know that they're doing the right thing, obviously your family always teaches you the right thing. So I cannot allow any outsider to invade my family and tell me how to think so. Because I'm a family man, I know how the things should go. This is how I'm brought up. And I'm never surprised, yes, but I love my audience because they love me so much and my wife so much and my family so much. I have great respect for the audience that every time, wherever we are, the kind of pictures we post, yes, there are 10%, they hate us, they envy us, but I still love them and I never respond to them. I never respond to them because I think if I respond to any of them, you cannot shut anybody's mouth. You cannot shut anybody because you are a public figure yourself. You chose this field yourself. Nobody asked you to. So when you've become a public figure, then you cannot shut that public.
Sure.
So you need to be very relaxed. You need to be very calm, and you need to know what you are doing, what you're not doing, and honestly, so if you're doing the right thing, you don't have to be scared of any kind of comments.
Yeah, absolutely.
You do not need to have. And I personally believe that you don't have to get involved in all those controversies just because of no reason. Just because people say, oh, this guy is doing for attention seeking and this girl is doing this for attention seeking. Why do we even have to think like that?
It's their choice, whether they are or they're not.
Exactly. It's their choice. Why? Who are you to tell them, dude, you are doing this because of that person? Just be relaxed, do your thing. Be efficient in what you do. That's it. And जब आप अपने ज़िंदगी में अपना काम करना चाहते हैं ना और आप फोकस होते हैं तो जो blinders होते हैं ना, I always tell Zara to keep the blinders and do your thing.
Finally then, you've changed roles for men on screen, or you're part of projects on screen that are changing mindsets. In real life as well, in your personal life, I think you've done a lot for the way Pakistani, or the average Pakistani looks at certain ideas as well. But what's the next thing that you hope will change in the Pakistani entertainment industry? What's the one thing that kind of niggles at you that agar ye ho jaye,
Mindset. The way they think. The way they think. The way they think about women. The way they think how the way they think how the public figures portray themselves in public and in reality how they are. So it's all starts from here. It all starts from here. You need to clean this up. You need to get the negativity out of this thing.
Well, here's hoping people do.
I really hope.
Clear it up.
I really hope that. One day, inshallah, it will. And Pakistan is changing. I mean, you've seen it yourself. I mean, you've been doing it and you do it all over the world with different people around the world. So I'm sure you must have known idea कि हाँ यार चीज़ें तो different हो रही हैं. पहले ऐसी होती थी, अब ऐसी हो रही हैं. So Alhamdulillah, we are blessed. We are blessed that we are actors. We are blessed that people love us. I'm blessed that I've got Zara. And thank you so much.
Asad, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Likewise.
Asian Network.